No, I can't. My disc is full.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, we announced just before Christmas that the Queen had decided to appoint Bono in recognition of his contribution to the music industry and his remarkable humanitarian work to be an honorary Knight Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire. And today I've had the great pleasure, on Her Majesty's behalf, of presenting the badge of the Order to Bono, which he has here with him. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Thank you, Ambassador. I'd like to say that I love Great Britain. I think Great Britain is great, and Irish people support British football teams, and Irish bands signed to British record labels, and Irish people speak English, and we even have one in our band. It's a great week to get such an award, great year, and I'm thrilled to be here. You know, you think of rock bands are supposed to kick against the establishment. Well, I always thought that U2 had more interesting enemies than that. So for us, it was always the established order of things that we fought against. And there's 1 billion people living on less than €1 a day out there. 1 billion sentient beings who don't have to struggle so hard as they do. And I'm very proud of the work that we've done in Great Britain with the movement there, with the Prime Minister and his Chancellor. And very proud of that relationship. It's a lot of work to do, but it's great. I think both Ireland and Great Britain are moving in the direction of meritocracy rather than aristocracy, and that will include the demand for equality for most people who live on so little, I would think. So onwards and upwards, and thanks for coming. Thanks for having us here. Great.
Well, I wonder, could we ask you to sort of put this in context of all the achievements and the other awards that you've been given? How would you rate this one?
I've had some great. It was a wonderful thing to be in Portugal and have their award, and I've been in the Elysee Palace and have President Chirac take me outside and show me around, and we had worked together on Africa. He knows a lot about Africa. A very emotional one was President Izetbegovic of Bosnia made myself and Ali Bosnian citizens and gave us working passports. And that was something that I can't wear as a badge, but it meant a great deal. This, though, is about something, I think, bigger than my own involvement. It's about a movement, really, that's gathered to rid the world of this ridiculous idea that you can starve to death in the 21st century, or you can die for lack of an immunization that costs, 20p. So I'm very proud of it. I take it on behalf of the movement and the band, of course, because as much as this is terribly unhip work, and I know they squirm when they see me in interesting company, they still support what I do in every which way. They pay for it, not just an embarrassment, but they actually, pay for me to do this. So I'm very grateful to them.
What have the band said to you in particular about this title?
Well, two of them turned up, which was great. And I often wonder, because these are extraordinary musicians. You have Edge, who's probably the most gifted guitar player alive, and he seems to have absolutely no bother with me getting all this really unfair attention. They're great men, and they're great friends. I'm really glad to know them.
What about the campaign itself?
Well, here's a great thing. And I'm really so proud again of this, that, we start a movement that started in Great Britain by two septuagenarian Christians, two 70-year-old eccentric English Christians started this debt relief movement, quickly joined by the Pope. But it started in England. Lots of people got out on the streets, and there are 20 million more Africans going to school because people got out on the streets. And that's a figure I'm not sure everyone knows, but I've visited these schools. I know they weren't there, I know they are now. So it just shows you that this stuff works. The Glen Eagles Agreement, the G8 communique, people are lagging behind. It is going to take a lot of leadership, still, from Great Britain, to get to the $25 billion for Africa that we were promised as an increase. But we're going to get there. I am so proud of Great Britain. Polling in the last election, what was uppermost on the mind of the British electorate was, global extreme poverty. This is incredible. It does not poll like that in other countries, in France or Germany or the United States. It polls like that in Great Britain. Maybe Scandinavia, maybe those countries, Norway, and I'm sure Ireland. But it's an amazing thing. I'm really proud to get an award from Great Britain. Comic relief has just happened in the last few weeks, and you see everyone turn up for it. And so I'm a bit player in a much bigger struggle, and I'm proud.
Where does the campaign go from here? Where do you bring the campaign next?
Well, we've got the next G8 summit is in Heiligendamm in Germany. I've just been there this week in the Chancellery, and I'm meeting again with Chancellor Merkel in a few weeks. And it's a very heroic thing for Germany to commit to 0.7% GDP. If you think that for the last 15 years they have spent 4% of their GDP on reunification, and yet they still committed to 0.7. But it's going to be very hard to get them to fulfill this, because they have to feel wind at their back. So people have to stay concentrated, stay motivated, and get out on the streets and join organizations like the One Campaign in America, or Make Poverty History is an evolving thing now in Great Britain. But there are various, like Deine Stimme gegen Armut in Germany. There's lots of places where people can get involved. It's a historic struggle, and I think when the history books are written, climate change and the threat to the African continent that we let go unchecked, that was HIV/AIDS and extreme poverty, will be written about in the history books as the two great significant moral issues. Thank you very much.